So episode 7 of The Ultimate Fighter just came out, and let's see, how can I put this nicely? I think the Fukushima nuclear power plant disaster was less of a failure than this season. It was very hyped when it first got announced, and after episode 1, I would say, no one cared. No, well, maybe 80% of people didn't care. Then episode 2 came out and it also sucked, and then like another 10% didn't care. Then when episode 3 also sucked, nobody cared. Not a soul on this planet had any interest in this show. The only positive thing that came from this season was the new meme format of Conor falling to his knees. Other than that, god-awful. Complete waste of everyone's time. There wasn't an ounce of drama. There's no alcohol allowed in the house anymore, so the fighters aren't going to do anything entertaining when they're just hanging out. And let's be real, the only thing we were tuning in for was to see Conor and Chandler interact. No one cares about all these fighter sob stories. Nobody gives a damn about any of these people. And to top it all off, Conor's team, they didn't win a single fight. And you know, the consensus I'm seeing online is, Conor he's only there to promote his whiskey and his McGregor fast, and he's not seriously coaching these guys. He doesn't care. And you know what? I don't think any of that is true. I think Conor's team was doomed to fail from the conception of this season. When I first found out it was going to be prospects versus UFC veterans, I thought to myself, the veterans are probably going to be 35 plus. They're really just used to promote these young up-and-comers. For a lot of those guys, their best days are probably way behind them. The prospects are going to be probably somewhere around the ages of 25 to 30. The thing making it interesting would be, is the experience going to make up for their lack of physical ability? But that is not how it played out at all. Not in the slightest. Let's go ahead and take a look at the contestants, each matchup on each episode, and let's just see what we're dealing with. Episode 1, Team Chandler's veteran was Roosevelt Roberts. He is the veteran at 29 years old, and he fought Nate Jennerman at 30 years old. The prospect is 30. And the veteran is 29. Okay. Roosevelt Roberts, he had one fight for Bellator, which he won. Then he had a Contender Series fight, which he won. Then he had 8 UFC fights where he went 4, 3, and 1. And the older up-and-coming prospect who he fought at the LFA, was the highest level he had fought at. Let's move on to the next fight on the show. We had the veteran Austin Hubbard at 31 years old fight the young up-and-comer Aaron McKenzie at 34 years old. Hubbard, 7 fights in the UFC. Aaron McKenzie, he had 2 fights for Bellator, but most of his fights were at the LFA. Third fight, Trevor Wells versus Timur Valiev. Finally, the prospect is younger than the veteran, but still, Timur was 33, still in his prime, going against a younger, much more inexperienced fighter. I could keep going on and on with this, but 2 things. 1, I promise it's not any different throughout the show. 2, I know you didn't even watch past episode 3 anyway. To really just sum all this up, on the most recent episode, Michael Chandler's guy, Jason Knight, has wins over Dan Hooker, Alex Caceres, and Thiago Moises. The guy he fought on Conor's team has been fighting at Titan FC. Need I say more? Now, I understand on a show like TUF, you don't want guys that are really old because the point of the show is that you're building these people up. If you get somebody who's 37, 38, 39 years old, well, their career's kind of already almost over. They don't have much time left. But that's the problem. Well, who came up with this damn concept then? Because you actually expected to take all these UFC veterans, all still in their prime, put them up against people their exact same age, who had never fought in a level near the UFC, and expect it to be competitive. I hate to break it to you guys, but a TUF season is not that long. Like 6 to 10 weeks. You're not going to show up on a show and then be taught brand new things, and then go out and execute those things in a cage fight against another trained fighter. Your skills are already your skills. At the very most, The coaches can tweak a few things, maybe show you some simple techniques, go over some game plan, but you're not learning anything new. If you flip-flop the teams, it would be exactly the same. So don't blame Conor. Blame the guy who was sitting around the conference table who went, okay, guys, I got it. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take two teams. Both teams are going to be pretty much the exact same age, except one group has tons of UFC experience, while the other group has never fought at a level anywhere near that. Then those two teams are going to fight. And Dana and the other execs were like, oh, great. Love it. How can that go wrong?